now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Oh, yes. Welcome to the Sportz Nutz, episode 163. Oh, man. I hope you guys had a pretty good weekend. I know you guys see this gentleman sitting right next to me. If it looks a little strange, Matt, unmute yourself and tell everybody where you were at and what you just did.
Oh man, guys! First of all, don't ever do this. Don't ever do this. But I took it upon myself to leave work today and just drive up to the Keeler residence. I won't put the address out here for we don't want people stalking Brandon, sitting outside his house and picking signs and everything like that. We don't want that. But yeah, man, I took me a drive and went up to the Keeler residence, man. We're gonna get a bro day tomorrow. Just relax, talk, and just catch up. So, I made that drive.
Yes, he made the surprise. Y'all, I literally went to answer the door, and I couldn't answer the door fast enough. I was like, so excited. Yes, today, guys, we have a jam-packed episode. We are talking with the athletic director of Utah Tech. Yes, I'm really excited. Going to give a quick shout-out, though, to our good friend, Mr. Coach Jonathan Burton at Reinhardt University actually told me to reach out to this school. So really excited to have the chance to talk with him about the direction that the entire athletic program is going at Utah Tech. After he leaves, guys, we still have a jam-packed episode. You know how we talked last week about a team who had lost 150 in a row? I got something that counteracts that. They've won 74 in a row. We're going to talk about that one. We lost an all-pro center from the New York Jets this weekend. Nick Mangold, unfortunately, succumbed to his kidney disease battle. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then, Matt, I'm so excited to talk about this one with you because I know you know how much I absolutely cannot stand Deion Sanders. Colorado absolutely got mollywopped, embarrassed, and whatever else you want to call it. We'll talk about that. And what is significant about this last game? Yeah, it's pretty bad. And then we saw more coaching changes that happened. We're going to talk about which coaches have been let go and talk about their buyouts. And let's just all just decide to go be coaching and get buyouts left and right. Shane's got a sports story. Matt has a sports story. And then we have our honorable mentions. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please get on your feet and give a round of applause. Mr. Ken, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I don't think too many have been getting on their feet and giving me a round of applause, but thank you for the invitation to do so.
Oh man, we got you, kid. We got you, kid.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ken, we are so honored that you came on to our show, and now I will say this, Utah Tech has actually has been steadily gaining more attention in the sporting world. And like I had mentioned before, our good friend Jonathan Burton at Reinhardt University, formerly known as Reinhardt College, told me to reach out to you guys. And you guys are a member of, unfortunately, a dying conference in the Western Athletic Conference. Now, what could be the next steps for this program? Could we see you guys make, and from what I understand, you're going to the Big Sky for programs, but maybe could y'all event in the near future, make that jump from the Big Sky to say the Mountain West Conference, Sun Belt, or even the new Pac-12 2.0?
We're just happy to be in the Big Sky Conference right now, starting next year. It's been quite a ride with the WAC, and as you know, the upheaval with the NCAA and conference realignment. To be aligned with the Big Sky Conference, where it's a very mature and stable conference, is really a good thing for us as well. And we got another announcement coming out tomorrow with some of our other sport programs where the Big Sky doesn't sponsor baseball and men's soccer. We'll have an announcement for you tomorrow that they told me they'd have to shoot me if I said anything right now, but another step tomorrow for our programs. But we're really excited with the progression of the university so far.
Absolutely. And we're going to be on Pins and Needles wanting to find out the next steps for Utah Tech. Shane, go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, well, obviously, Mr. Ken, thanks again for coming on with us and giving us a little bit of insight into Utah Tech. I guess you just kind of took away one of my questions because I was going to ask. No, knowing the Big Sky and me being a baseball guy, didn't have that kind of plan. So I was going to ask it, but I'll be paying attention for sure. But as you talked about the move to the Big Sky, this kind of realigns you guys into a more of a regional kind of conference with being in the same conference as Idaho, and Montana, and all those guys kind of regionally. I know Southern Utah is going to join you guys, which is in the Big Sky, which is a big rivalry for you guys. Kind of what does that mean, joining the Big Sky and that regional realignment for those rivalries, and could possibly new rivalries be stemming from it?
Yeah, it means what it means is that you can make sense out of some of the stuff that's going on in the NCAA right now, because this makes sense. I mean, this conference realignment makes sense. When you look at the footprint, we're basically going up Interstate 15 now, and we have a lot more bus trips rather than plane trips with that. We're joining institutions that are like-minded in mission and in their offerings, areas we recruit from. So from that standpoint, it just made perfect sense to us. It's also institutions that our fan base is growing up knowing. Obviously, now we have rivalry with Weber State, what's up the interstate here from us. And you mentioned Southern Utah University, which I told the commissioner when we started, I said, outside of Montana State, you're going to see that Southern Utah and Utah Tech are going to be your most heated rivalry in the conference, because we're only 45 minutes away from each other. And it's just a natural rivalry, and the fans really natural and regional rivalry that the fans really bought into already.
All right, Ken. Once again, man, we want to thank you for coming on, man. We really appreciate you taking the time out to come, grace us with your presence. We really appreciate that. But can you tell us what initially attracted you to Utah Tech, and how has your vision for the athletics program evolved since stepping into the permanent role?
Yeah, what attracted me? I've been in athletics, intercollegiate athletics. I started out in coaching, and I've been in about 26 years. And I actually got out of athletics. Ironically, I was the athletic director at Southern Utah University up the road here. I mean, yeah, name me another athletic director that's been the athletic director at the institution's prime rival. And I'm interested to know if I'm the only one. But I got out of athletics, just kind of got burned out at one point, and I moved to St. George, which is, it's a great area, one of the fastest growing areas in the country, a great location. In fact, the only area in the state of Utah that has palm trees. And I moved here and started coaching high school football and working at the university. And then about 3.5 years ago, the opportunity to get back in athletics came up as the athletic director here moved on. And, I talked to my wife. I said, should we get back in athletics? And her quick answer was no. She says, do you really want to get back in this hamster wheel? And I said, I do. And she says, well, I'll support you. And so got back in. And the vision for the university, I mean, such an upside of this institution. You're probably familiar with a little bit of the trajectory. We just finished our transition to Division I. Utah Tech University started out as Dixie College, as a junior college, and then transitioned to a 4-year Division II back in 2005, and then made the decision to go Division I back in 2019, first year being the COVID year, which is really challenging. But the vision for this institution is to continue to grow. And I tell people, I was at Utah State University for a while, and I tell people, what we had at Utah State University can be achieved here at this institution. You're both in the opposite corners of the state of Utah. You're separated from the main Wasatch Front. In fact, we're only an hour and 45 minutes from Las Vegas. That kind of gives you where we're at here. But the interest from the community base obviously is here, like it is up in Logan, Utah State. And we can truly build a program that can be similar to Utah State University. And that's my vision. And some people think, that I'm a little out there with that, but I don't believe so. We have the community that is very interested, a lot of support from the community. And I think we can get there. So that's my vision, is to kind of pattern what they do up in Logan with Utah State University.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ken, I did in a little bit of research for a couple other topics tonight. I did find Scott Woodward left from A&M and took the LSU job. So they're kind of rivalries, and since they've
Okay.
come back in the SEC together. So just a little tidbit on that. But also in a earlier episode that we had, we talked about some of the greatest backdrops in college football stadiums. There at the Greater Zion Stadium, man, that is a picturesque, perfect kind of sunset kind of, you get to look out over the mountains and the plateaus there. And plus the colors are absolutely beautiful. But as you were mentioning the St. George area and everything, can you let our listeners and viewers out there, know what the greater St. George area and the community means for this university, and how does that help you kind of secure the top level of talent, either coaching or player wise?
Yeah, there's a saying in the state of Utah, there are two type of people, those who own homes in St. George and those who wish they did. And it is that type of area. And this is where everybody comes, spring break, fall break, and any type of break, people come to this area. It truly is a beautiful landscape, the warm climate. Now, it is a little bit warm in July and August. I mean, we average around 108 degrees at that time. But outside of that, just a beautiful, picturesque area, a thriving community, a lot of tech industry that is moving here. And during COVID, we saw a lot of people from California and even Las Vegas move in here. And so the area itself is growing, is very progressive as far as the growth and what they're doing in the workforce. And the university has gone step for step with that as well, as we've continued to grow substantially and add our academic programs to fit the workforce needs in the area. So we match the community in our aggressive approach to development. And we get a lot of people moving in here, and a lot of retired people come in here as well. They make their fortune, they retire early, and we get people dropping in our doors on a regular basis that say, hey, you can only play golf so much. And which I know a lot of people find that hard to believe, but they want something else to do. And so they come around the university. But, speaking of golf, we have, 13 golf courses here in the city. In fact, we just hosted the PGA this last week, finished on Sunday here at Black Desert Resort. So very, very forward-thinking institution, very forward-thinking community. And we really match and mirror each other in that aspect.
What is a typical game day experience like for those who have never attended a Utah Tech match at all in general, for football, basketball, or wherever?
Yeah. So here, I mentioned there's a lot of people coming into the area. So most of these individuals come in with their already pre-made institution of choice. We have a lot of BYU fans here, a lot of University of Utah, a lot of USC, Notre Dame fans that come in here. So the game day atmosphere is a little bit different from them. It's a smaller level, but still the same excitement. And they find, we hear often when people, they say, I give $1,000 to this institution and it doesn't do anything. I give $1,000 to you guys and it's life-changing for some student athlete. And so the game day atmosphere it's a little bit closer to the student athletes, the coaches, than what you'll find at another institution, because we're so in the community with our student athletes, and because the town-gown relationship is so close. So the atmosphere is similar to any college basketball or football atmosphere as well, just on a smaller scale.
Matt, go ahead.
All right, Ken. So as we know, the landscape of college athletics is changing rapidly with NIL, transfer portal, conference realignment. Can you tell us what you see as the biggest challenge right now for mid-major programs like Utah Tech, and how are you preparing the department to handle it?
Yeah, the easy answer is the major challenge is around finances, trying to get the money to keep up with the new landscape and the new culture of athletics. But I'm not going to go that direction. I think the biggest challenge for institutions like Utah Tech University is to try and identify your identity and how it fits in with the institution's mission. With the transfer portal and NIL, you really have to look at how you're going to construct your teams and employ your recruiting practices. It used to be that institutions, you could find that diamond in the rough, that young man, young woman that was overlooked, and bring them in and develop them, give them proper nutrition, proper strength training and coaching, And then, it was a 1-star, a 2-star athlete becomes a 4 or 5-star by the time they leave. But those days are pretty much gone. So your identity, you have to define where you're at. Are you still going to try and develop student athletes, or are you going to be a transfer portal heavy type of program? And if you're going to do that, are you going to be competitive with the NIL market? So it does kind of relate to finances, but still you find a lot of institutions, particularly in the group of 5, group of 6 right now, trying to find where they fit in this landscape of the current NCAA.
I 100% agree. Real quick before we go to the next question, shout out to everybody who is listening to us live on the radio at 95.5 KFCE and TigerNation.live and the 29 other countries that we air in there at the same time. We absolutely appreciate you. I'm going to switch a little bit with you, Ken. I'm a big basketball. That's actually how Matt and I met each other. It was through basketball. That's our first love. You guys are playing in the Rainbow Classic at UH, and now I'm with Hawaii everything. What are you looking forward to this basketball season, and what are you looking forward to most with the Rainbow Classic?
I'm going to start with your second question first with the Rainbow Classic. We're looking to see how we match up. As you go to Hawaii, your mind's kind of elsewhere a lot of times with the scenery and just being in Hawaii and everything goes along with that. But I'm looking at how we match up on the road with some of these institutions we're playing. I think we can be competitive with the majority of them, but just seeing how we match up. What I'm looking forward to most this basketball season is we have a lot of newcomers. We did dip heavy into the transfer portal, but we also have some freshmen that are coming in. And as I've watched them practice, very talented. We're very athletic, a lot longer than we've been in the past. It's how quickly we can mesh together. People don't understand. NIL has changed the dynamic of sports in some ways you don't often think. And that is a lot of times with the NIL money, kids have a tendency to be more self-centered, more individualized in their play, and getting them to play within a team concept with somebody who may be making more NIL money than they do is a challenge. I'm looking forward to seeing how the coaches put that together because we have the chance to be pretty special this year if we can put it together.
Oh yeah, well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you this evening, there, Mr. Ken, and as always, Utah Tech, man, it's we love the mid-major kind of schools, love to highlight them. Hence one of the reasons why you're here speaking with us, of course. But as you mentioned, kind of identity before. I kind of want to give our fans and all kind of a little insight about your guys' identity and a little bit about, how the nickname, Trailblazers and Brooks the Bison came about. And, along with the tagline that you guys have is Blaze Forward. Can you kind of let us know a little bit about that and, a little bit of the history on the mascot name?
Yeah, so like most towns in Utah, St. George was settled by the early Mormon pioneers who went to the Salt Lake Valley, and then they kind of did some offshoots from there, and a group was sent to St. George, Utah. And they were sent down here to what was called the Cotton Mission to grow cotton in this area, and that's where the nickname came from, Dixie. And it was called Utah's Dixie, and that name has stuck. So as that group came down here, it was very hot here, and but they made a go of it. So the early pioneers were the original settlers of this place, and one of the first things they did was establish a school, and that school eventually grew into Dixie College, a 2-year school, and then eventually Dixie State University. And then as we continued to grow and the mission of the institution changed and continued to expand and the footprint academically expanded, and with the tech sectors I told you that's down here in this area, the name, Utah Tech University. Now the Trailblazer came from in honor of those early pioneers who settled this area because they were trailblazers. They really had a difficult living situation, and everything they did was trailblazing. They were fighting, to maintain, not only their crops but livelihood here. Not a lot of water here, and so that's where the trailblazing came from. And the mascot Brooks the Bison So Brooks was taken from the first student at the college. His name was Sam Brooks. He slept all night on the front step of the institution so he could be the first one to register for class, so he could be forever known as the first one. And that's where the name came from. So Sam Brooks, that's where we got the name Brooks the Bison.
I love that kind of like the idea. And, Shane hit the nail on the head. Absolutely. We love the smaller programs. We have an infinite love because this is where it means more. School that brings the most in usually is the smaller programs. We actually had the one of the coaches from Presbyterian College, literally the smallest school in all of Division I, ranked 360 to 360. We had them come on, and oh my gosh, it's taken off. Literally, you had ESPN, you had every radio and TV network now covering them because they're doing something special. Yeah, they did lose their first time in 11 tries, but it's just so cool to be around smaller programs. It's where it's at. It hits differently. Real quick before I let you go, can you let everybody know where they can find Utah Tech on social media, and then also what is the next home game for the football program?
Okay, so the social media, this is where I'm really bad. In fact, I've got my social media crew, my content creators that are on me all the time because I'm not a social media guy. But obviously, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're there. We're very active on YouTube with Trailblazer Nation. So not hard to find. The easiest way to find us is utahtech.edu, or that's the university. But anyway, easy to find us that way. So the next football game, we're at home. We're hosting North Alabama this week, member of our conference with the United Athletic Conference, and looking forward to bringing them in. Josh Looney, the athletic director there, is a good friend. Looking forward to having him here this weekend, but that's coming up this Saturday. 2 p.m. kickoff for us. We finally got out of the hot season. We're at 75 degrees today, so beautiful weather here. So we'll be able to go with our first afternoon game of the year here this Saturday.
It's so funny you say it's nice. Shane and I will happily allude to you today. It was only where I'm at in the upstate of South Carolina. It was only 46. Shane is like close to 35. So it's been cold and wet and damp and dreary and all of those in between. But, Ken, you've definitely gained 3 new fans right here with us. And we're, like I said, we air live on 2 stations and on 7 others as well. They simulcast us, but then we also air in 29 other countries. So you guys are getting your name out there. And I can tell you, I am honored. I am thrilled. I'm ecstatic that I got a hold of you and I got a hold of Scott, everything. Please tell Scott, thank you so much. Please tell everybody, tell your wife too. We absolutely appreciate you letting us bend your ear for the last 25 minutes.
It's been a pleasure. And if you guys ever get here, lunch is on me.
Sounds good. We're definitely going to cheer you guys on.
Okay.
Go Trailblazers, and we'll see you soon, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, Coach.
Hey guys, that was awesome. Come on. And by the way, real quick, I got to give a shout out to Scott Johnson. He is the guy at SID that helped get this set up. So it really means a lot that we had this particular program come on. But before we go into the show, man, we already heard from Matt, but we didn't hear from this guy below me. Shane, man, what is going on with you, man? How was your weekend, by the way? I know it, like I said, we know it's frigid cold up there today, but and here's the weird thing. WYFF4 said, oh, tomorrow's gonna be a little warmer, and then they show you guys and it's 35 degrees. I'm like, that's not a little warmer. What are you a little warmering about? How are you doing?
Man, doing good. Mom and Dad came up for the weekend. They were feeling under the weather, so I did my first attempt at egg drop soup. Mama's first, Mama's favorite soups. They loved it. So
what you're saying is you're going to make us the egg drop soup then too, huh? I mean,
well, it's pretty simple. It's the execution that takes a little bit though, as far as pouring it into the soup and the water and all. So, but did that. Then of course did potato soup. and made some chili. So I was fully prepared for this type of weather, to say the least. Although I hope it does go away soon because I'm running out of leftovers. But man, other than that, man, it's been good. Just hanging in there like a thumbnail.
Amen to that. Yes, and it's been cold, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit in the honorable mentions. But let's get it going, guys. I'm going to put a picture up, and I want you, Matt. I'm going to mute my mic, and I want you to read what it says, and then we'll talk about it. Okay?
Oh God.
Mute my mic. Read it. Can you read it?
Yes, I'm. Fortunately, I've been able to, be educated enough to read it, so I think I'll be good. Marion Local holds off Cold Water 7-6 to make it 74 wins in a row.
What? Didn't we just have this conversation literally last episode, Shane and Matt, about there is a school that hasn't won since 1999. That's 150 straight losses. But then you got this school, Marion Local, they just won their 74th in a row. Like that is, oh my God, that's unbelievable. Here's the question of all questions, Shane. Should we maybe take the coach from Marion Local, give it to that school in Minnesota and say, here, you guys can finally, hopefully he can give you that first win you haven't had in 26 years. What is the disparity? Why are we seeing a school that hasn't won in almost 30 years to a school that hasn't lost in almost 10, or hasn't lost in over 10 years?
It all, kind of depends on conferences and, kind of, how these schools kind of, align themselves, it can get crazy. I know different states have different rules and everything when it comes to conferences and all this, but, hey, as you mentioned, this is another insane streak in high school football that we're mentioning, for another episode in a row. So, man, did you guys see any of the highlights on this game? Because they were on Facebook a couple days ago when I saw it. They won this game after a field goal to put them down 6-0. They won it on the return kickoff touchdown. is how they won. Is how they put up the 7 points. So it was a pretty good game. There was one receiver that I saw had a couple big drops that were for sure touchdowns. And quarterback didn't play too well. I think they turned the ball over maybe 4 or 5 times that game. But hey, these kind of streaks are the ones that you remember more so than those losing streaks, and because we've highlighted one team. I'm pretty sure that we've had other, gigantic losing streaks and stuff like that. But I kind of remember, Independence, when Chris Leak was there, they had a good little run. And of course, we all know the story. Matter Day had a big run, and then of course the all-time leader in De La Salle with their win streak kind of going forward. So, I mean, it's great to see, but I would love to see kind of a big coach kind of go and turn that program around up there in Minnesota. Since it's been highlighted now. So, I mean, it would be good for them, but man, it's great to see these teams go on these streaks, be it good, or is good to see, and be it bad, we want to see them in. So we're rooting for them either way.
Absolutely. I got a matchup for you. All right, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. Let's put the school of Minnesota against this, and let's see. One streak is going to come to an end. One is going to end. But the question, I'm going to go to you, Matt, and ask you this question. If we put the team who hasn't won in 26 years versus the team who hasn't lost in over 10 years, who do you think would actually win that game?
Well, obviously, the team that hasn't lost would probably win the game, more than likely, man. They're just winning culture, things like that, man. But the team, let me refresh my memory again. The team that hasn't won a game, that team was the high school team, correct?
Yes.
And this team is the high school team, correct? As well. Yes. Yeah, I don't think it'll be. Yeah,
so one is called Red Lake Warriors in Minnesota, and the other one is Marion Local. I don't know where Shane. Where are they located? Do you know where they're located? I know this is bad radio. I apologize, folks, but we're looking on that one. But what do you know? I'm gonna go on a limb. First off, what do you guys think in the stream? If people are watching, we can put a team who hasn't won in 26 years versus a team who hasn't lost in over 10 years. Who has the chance to really continue a streak or end a streak? I would be surprised. Shane, where are they located?
Maria Stein, Ohio.
Okay, so you had another northern team, but like it's if you put those two together, someone's streak is either going to continue, is definitely going to continue. One school is definitely going to continue, and one is going to end. I'd be okay seeing the 150 straight losses finally come to an end. That'd be fantastic, but we'll leave for another day. I mean, we want to hear y'all's thoughts on this too. We're really excited to center point cover as far as like teams, who unfortunately either have not won in 26 years or a team who hasn't lost in over 10. So let us know what you guys think in the stream. Let us know what you guys think who is watching us and listening to us all over. We'd absolutely appreciate it. All right, so this next one that I'm going to cover is it's a sad situation. I'm going to turn the banner off. It's blocking. This gentleman right here, an all-pro center. He played for the Jets, one of the best ever. Literally, direct traffic is what they call him, and the hog mollies. He recently came out, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, came out letting everybody know he had kidney disease. He was searching for a donor because he wasn't responding as well as they had hoped with his dialysis. And unfortunately, he succumbed to his injuries, as they call it. He did have kidney disease. He was 41 years old. Nick Mangold has passed away. But Matt, what is it going to take to bring more attention to healthcare amongst pro and non-pro athletes? Because athletes tend to put their health on the back burner first, and then eventually they will address it. And 9 out of 10 times it catches up with them. We saw Randy Moss got diagnosed with cancer. There had been indications that he'd had some form of it for a while, and thankfully they rid his body of it. But what is it going to take, Matt, to see a reform take place with professional and non-professional athletes about maintaining their health?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure the NFL and the NBA both have good insurance plan in place for their retired athletes. It's just with Nick, man, it was an unfortunate situation. He just couldn't find a donor in time. But it shouldn't have gotten to that point where, he was racing against time. He definitely should have been kind of aware of it a lot earlier. So I don't know, man. I mean, you have to put yourself in the perspective or the shoes of these athletes while they're in there playing in their heydays. They're making millions of dollars. You feel like they're untouchable, because they have this blessing of all that money, man. So I can see how they can lose track of just kind of lose track of a sense of self. So, man, I think both of the major sports, they all have good insurance plans in place for retired athletes. It's just that, especially dealing with football, it's just that these athletes don't reach out or don't, take advantage of it until, something happens and the symptom comes up. Rather, they're very reactionary rather than being, rather than being preventatory. So, hey, man, it's an unfortunate situation. It's unfortunate for his family, unfortunate for his children, but hopefully, prayers and thoughts go out to them. So,
what do you think? Like this whole situation, it's sad. I mean, Nick Mangold is a centerpiece, excuse me, and literally all of the sporting world, every sport in the realm of sports knows who Nick Mangold is. But like, what else? Our friend Ralph just said education and programs. What do you think, though, Shane? Like, what is it going to take to finally, push aside that stigma that, oh God, health is bad and I can't take care of it right now. I got to take care of it later, and almost always it bites them in the backside.
Well, I believe, kind of alluding to what Matt said as well, as far as the insurance plans and stuff for retired players are good. But I believe that, here in the past, I'd say 3 to 5 years, kind of the more of the personal health and not just a game health kind of has come to the forefront and has been kind of on the kind of forefront of all the medical teams for all these organizations. You know, not only are these athletes getting millions of dollars, these owners and these organizations are investing millions of dollars into these athletes. I think, as Ralph pointed out as well, education and programs. If you put the educated people in place to help, they can set forth programs that could eventually be adapted throughout the league and throughout, the sports world in general to kind of help not only professional athletes, but you can take this down all the way to the younger athletes to, okay, if we have too many injuries by this age, really what should we start looking at doing to kind of ensure a future self, not just something's thrown out there for sport. Kind of like just using your body up just for the sake of playing sports. We love them to death. We all were a part of that world, but we've all grown up and realized that world is only short lived because our bodies can only take so much. It's it's very unfortunate that a player of this caliber, multiple Pro Bowls, one of the best centers in New York Jets history, period, succumb to this disease and all, as we mentioned, or as I highlighted a few episodes ago. He was going through this rare blood disease, and couldn't find a donor, and that's kind of their last hope. I know, having some family members that have gone through some serious medical conditions, family is kind of the first hope when it comes down to needing some sort of transplant or donation. So, his family, unfortunately, they ran out of time and nobody could help. Our thoughts and prayers definitely go out with the Mangum family during this rough time. But I'm pretty sure that they'll get through it because, the good Lord doesn't put anything in front of us that we can't handle.
Amen. Absolutely to that one. And, he really was a legend amongst legends for the center. I think, Peyton Manning has come out and said that Nick Mango was the best center he has ever gotten a chance to meet. And that takes a lot because Jeff Saturday was, his signal caller for such a long time. And it's high praise indeed. And it definitely shakes you to the core knowing that someone of his caliber, unfortunately, succumbs to, this dreadful disease. I have an irregular heartbeat, and we didn't know this. It was never diagnosed to me. And just think about that for a second. It was never diagnosed to me. I could have played in one game and taken one hit, and that was it. I could have, unfortunately lost my life. And it's sad, to say the least. I hope that, this also helps open the eyes up to many others with regards to your health. Health is the most important thing. Your body is the smartest tool ever known to man. If there's something wrong, you got to listen to it. I had a cardiac migraine 4 days before my Widowmaker happened. I wish I had listened to it. Maybe I would have been able to prevent. I don't know. But speaking of another particular coach, he hasn't listened to his health as much as he should. As Deion Sanders, and the reason why I'm bringing them up is also because they got absolutely mollywopped, embarrassed, shellacked, whatever you want to call it. Everybody, if you can, read what it says. Matt, Shane, look at the yardage. How many yards did they have? Whoever answers first, how many yards did they have at halftime? Did Colorado have at halftime?
-18.
Yes. -18. And they got mollywopped. I think it was like 43 yards of total offense for Colorado that game against Utah. My question to you, and I'm going to start with Matt on this, because, Matt, we had this, you and I had this long banter about Deion Sanders and nepotisms and whatever else is in betweens. But is it time maybe for either Colorado to move on from Deion, or should Deion just move on from Colorado?
Like I said, they had 140 total yards against Utah, 102 passing yards, 38 rushing yards. Terrible game.
-18 at halftime.
That is true. The 3 for 16 on third downs. It was probably one of the worst games that I've probably seen from those Colorado Buffaloes. But again, Utah was ranked in the top 25. Colorado was not. Kind of expected this to happen, but not to this magnitude. You expected Colorado to throw a bigger fight. As far as Deion goes, they won't fire Deion. That's not going to happen, man. He's brought so much money and attention to that school. Nobody even knew what the mascot for Colorado was before Deion got there. So let's just be real about the situation. And also, we don't have to worry about that too much longer, because we know Florida State's going to come in a second. So
I was just about to say he's linked as potential Mike Norvell replacement.
Hey man, look, man, I can see him going to Florida State. Him, just leaving out from Colorado, going to Florida State. Of course, the money would have to work, and Colorado would be as willing to let him go. But we understand your hate for Deion Sanders, Brandon. We understand what it is. So at this point, who do you can you just let everybody know, who do you hate more? Deion Sanders or Bronny James? Which one is it, man? Come on,
Bronny James.
Okay, as we know. But yeah, man. Colorado got mollywopped, man. It was tragic, but expected.
What do you think, Shane? Should maybe Colorado move on from Deion, or should Deion move on from Colorado? Because their only option is to go down from here. Because I just don't see them. I don't think they're making a bowl this year. But I mean, that's just, we haven't seen just yet. But I mean, they're 3-5. They're on the verge of basically not even getting a bowl game. But what do you think?
Well, you guys have alluded to it. I think I alluded to it the last episode. If Norvell leaves or is let go from his position, I believe Deion will take that role. There's a couple of interesting things here with Deion in Colorado. Yes, they gave him a big contract, but there's a couple of big numbers that you also got to look at when it comes to Deion. If he leaves the school and takes the FSU job, he's got a $12 million buyout that that he owes the school at that point, and I believe that decreases next year. But as of December 31st, 2025, if he makes that decision before, he's owes the school $12 million. If they fire him, they owe him $33.6 million for the length of his contract. It does stipulate that a team that say hires him, as in say Florida State, could pay his buyout in that contract as well. So it's it's kind of open, but from what I saw in that game, Colorado just didn't show up at all. They just looked confused. I mean, and dazed, just like it was another
Look at the picture.
Yeah, just another Saturday afternoon, and they showed up to play touch football, and people showed up in pads. But man, there's going to be a lot. We're going to talk about it here in a few. I mean, there's 10 Division I, major programs that are already looking for coaching talent. Where it comes from, but as you guys mentioned, nobody knew what Colorado was or who Ralphie was before Dion got there.
I knew Cordell. The only thing I really knew about Colorado was Cordell Stewart. That's the only thing that I knew was Cordell Stewart.
I knew they had they had a bunch of tradition and stuff like that up there, and they've been good in the past, but he's brought their attention to a whole new level from where they were getting maybe 2 aired games a year. Now they're almost guaranteed 6 to 8 just because they play on that West Coast and everybody wants to put Prime on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, they got that boost, but, it's going to be very interesting to see, what kind of the future holds for all the college football openings right now and the potential candidates that could be taken away from major jobs.
Oh, absolutely. And it's so funny you did say that. Another another major coaching change happened over the weekend. This gentleman, Brian Kelly, officially was relieved of his duties at LSU. You guys ready to hear about his buyout? This is absolutely insane. College football coaches' buyouts are like massive compared to their actual contract. I mean, just listen to this. Jimbo Fisher had a $76 million buyout. 100% of it is guaranteed. So even if he goes to another institution, he's still getting paid from Texas A&M and the other program he's at. Well, James Franklin had a $55 million buyout. God, insane. Well, Brian Kelly has a $54 million buyout. That's absolutely insane. Matt, first off, if you had that kind of buyout, would you want to go back to coaching or just take the money and, ride off into the sunset? What would you want to do?
Oh man, fire me, man. If I got a $54 million buyout, fire me. I'll do everything I can to get fired. I don't care, man. $54 million buyout, and still getting paid for a couple of schools already. Man, how old is he? He's like what, 54? Or how old is he? He's like in his 60s, right? 60, close to 70. Oh man, it's time to wrap it up. It's time to hang it up. Yeah, man. It's time. Go. Take the wife out. Then go on vacation. Go with the grandkids. You got 54 million coming your way. No, man, please. Yeah, it's time. It's just that time.
Shane, what about the? All right, honestly, if I had to choose between those three, I'd take Jimbo Fisher's buyout. I mean, you're banking no matter what. You're making, all of them are banking, but you're making $76 million. Plus, if you go to any other institution, you're going to get paid from them on top of your money from Texas A&M. Like, what do you think, Shane? What would you rather have? Brian Kelly's, James Franklin, or Jimbo Fisher's buyout?
I'll take any and all of the buyouts. Yeah. So I will take all of them. We're talking, 76 Jimbo Fisher, 54 Brian Kelly, 49 James Franklin. As I mentioned, there's 10 other schools that are looking for head coaches. The lowest one on that list is Jay Norvell at $1.5 million for the buyout from Colorado State. So yeah, I'll definitely take that. And as we're sitting here talking numbers, as of right now, as far as coaches that have just have coached at least one game in the 2025 season, these schools owe $168 million plus to these coaches.
Good grief.
Yeah, Virginia Tech owes Price $6 million. So it's crazy. And as we had Ken on, and I mentioned the name and athletic director Scott Woodward, he is responsible for the top 2 coach buyouts in NCAA history. When he was the AD that hired Jimbo Fisher at A&M, and he's the AD that hired Brian Kelly at LSU. So he is responsible alone for 2 coaches and $130 million for between the 2 schools.
I mean, you could write a check to us for 130 million. We'll happily take that off of your pockets.
Yep,
I know it might be hard to handle, but we'd be happy to take care of that for him.
I can't tell you this. With the news the past couple days, this I'm not sure if Brian Kelly will be able to go coach anywhere, let alone recruit after all the stories that you see come out on how he's handled stuff.
So many, and I don't know if you guys saw,
hold
he
on.
got to fight one of his coaches too.
Well, we're not going to count that as a loss for him, though, are we, man? I mean,
it knocks out a little bit of the potential earnings in the future, though.
Hey, look, man. Like I said, he got a $54 million buyout coming his way. I'm pretty sure his potential earnings are perfectly fine. Now, her on the other hand,
Hey, you remember, you still got to pay taxes on that money all the time.
Oh yeah. Uncle Sam got to get a piece of that pie real quick.
Oh yeah, you got to make $2 million just to pay that tax.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, wholeheartedly. And look, guys, I appreciate everybody who's commenting on here. We would love to know, like, what are your thoughts on Brian Kelly getting the pink slip, and who do you think could be the next domino fall? I've heard Hugh Freeze is mentioned on that list. Let's see who else. I've heard the head coach at Sam Houston State, Mike Norvell. We've heard the head coach at Sam Houston State has also been mentioned. I mean, there's so many out there. What do you think, Matt?
Everybody's after Lane Kiffin right now, boy. He's about to become a richer man in a second.
Did you guys see he is linked?
Probably by extension.
I don't know, because he is linked to Florida, the University of Florida, and it's estimated they would pay him an annual salary of $13.7 million or $81 million total. And there is a lot of talks that he is considering that jump to go to Florida. So
now I saw a meme today, Matt, you'll love this. Call it the decision 3.0.
Oh God,
the Lane Kiffin edition, and have him sit out there like a high school recruit, like he does for so many other kids, and have him pick a hat to put it on. Because
I saw that too. He had like the hats lined up, and Arkansas, he would like reach for Arkansas and then go. I saw that too. Yeah,
it was pretty funny, but I believe whatever decision he makes will be the biggest leaf that will turn or fall, whichever way you want to look at it, for the head coaching job anywhere in the country.
We will see. It's going to be we eagerly await. Not too fast though, because we don't want college football to end just yet. We want it to last until March of 2039. Just saying. But hey, Shane, you have a sports story that you're going to share with the world, man. Go right ahead.
Oh yeah, well, man, it is almost the end of October. We've got Halloween right around the corner. I hope everybody's got the candy ready, or has been saving up, or taking some out of their kids' tuition fund to pay for the candy.
That's the cost is going to be nowadays.
Oh yeah, it takes a good $300-400 to keep kids happy with a piece or two of candy nowadays. But man, with October coming to a close, November 3rd is right around the corner. Monday, college basketball kicks off full swing. We've seen a couple good exhibition games so far this preseason, man, and I'm excited. I know you guys are big NBA guys, but I'm more on the college basketball side. I think that we're going to see more of your NBA type between the players moving around the different teams so much now with the transfer portal and NIL. And you're going to see that a lot more now in the game of college basketball. But, man, we've got a big matchup to kick off things. We've got Florida, Arizona. I believe Florida is ranked 3rd in the country, and Arizona's 13th. So, man, coverage on TNT. They lost the NBA, but they're picking up college basketball this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of produce that. Hopefully, it's kind of how they produce the 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 March Madness tournament and all. But I got a couple questions that that maybe you guys can answer or have some answers for me on this. Can the SEC be dominant? Again this year, or are they going to be that 13 teams in the tournament at the end of the year? Can UNC or any of the other ACC teams become that powerhouse again, like we saw Duke, UNC, Virginia for so many years in the past? And eventually, looking into the potential champion, could Rick Pitino or Calipari win another one before they finally retire? It's kind of all questions are up in the air, but excited to get it. And
Uh-oh. Your mic went out there, Shane. But you're right though, Shane. There's so many good matchups coming up, and I'm excited. Personally, I'm going to answer your first question. I don't think the SEC. I think they're going to cool down. I really feel like they're going to cool down from last season. I mean, there's still going to be a good bit that go into the tournament. I don't think it's going to be 13. I say maybe 8. I think the ACC is starting to assert their dominance really again in the realm of basketball. So I could see them overtaking the SEC as far as like how many teams get put into the conference, which people don't realize this also, that the conference of, the field of 68 is actually changing to 76 as of the 2029-2030 season. So we're going to see an up jump on that. Well, that the women's basketball is also changing. They're going to change from 64 to 76. However, what's been mentioned as soon as 2035 is 96. We could see both men's and women's have 96 teams, which they should, because there are so many D1 programs coming about. I mean, University of West Georgia, you know this, Matt. They're making the jump in 2 years to the Division I level, and they're going to the FBS level in football, and they're going to the D1 level in basketball. And it's crazy to think it only 10 years ago, West Georgia University was an intramural program. And here we are talking about them going to the big boy leagues. It's going to be there, and it's going to be loud and proud. And, and Shane, that the 68 marathon, the team of 68 marathon kicks off where you have like 68 teams in a row or whatever. Furman, I'm right down the road from Furman. They're taking on High Point, which is not too far from you. It's in North Carolina. It's a huge matchup. And, Furman just had a massive exhibition matchup with Alabama. It was an exhibition game, but Furman hung tough pretty good for a while with Alabama.
Furman is quite a bit closer than High Point to me.
Well, High Point, North Carolina it's in North Carolina, and you're in North Carolina, but Furman, that's going to be a good matchup. What do you think, Matt?
Furman's right on the line.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt? Like, which ones are you looking forward to as far as matchups? And do you think, though, like Shane asked, is the SEC going to pop in another 13 teams, or are we going to see it cool down?
You're definitely going to see it kind of a cool down, because this is one of the stronger freshman classes. And we know freshmen run college basketball now. That's just how it is with the one and dones. But the freshman class is one of the stronger ones, man. We have Darren Peterson over there in Kentucky. They're calling him the best guard prospect since Kobe. He dropped 30-something points. I think 26 points in the first half in his first game, man. Smooth.
And you got Carlos Boozer's son.
Yeah. You got Cam Boozer at Duke, who's a monster, man. On the way he had like 25 and 23 the other day. You got Nate Ament, man, and the kid from Tennessee, man, silky smooth, man. Arkansas, I think Arkansas is in the SEC. They got 2 top 10 freshmen with their point guard Darius Acuff and I forgot the other kid's name, man, Malik Thomas. You got them, man. People forget. You got Gilbert Arenas' son, Elijah Arenas, over there in USC, man. So, these freshmen are spread out. Caleb Wilson, man, the kid here from Atlanta, man. He's playing for North Carolina, man. 6'10" forward that can just do everything. So you got a lot of freshmen coming out, man, in different conferences. Even Georgia Tech got this almost like 6'11", 7-foot kid, man. I mean, It's a really strong freshman class. You right now, this class is going to reset in about 10 years. You'll see about good 60-70% of this class in the NBA, man, and kind of running the respective teams. So I don't think the SEC is going to be able to, do what they did last year, just because of the talent alone that's coming in and the freshmen that are going to be the focal points of the teams. But it's going to be great. It's going to be a great season of college ball, man, and I can't wait to watch it.
Oh, yeah. Basketball is back and better than ever. We're excited for it. Can't wait. I mean, come on, guys. Again, every sport you ever want is at together at the exact same point. It's perfect. Matt, you have a sports story. Let everybody know what your sports story is.
I do, man. And I'm gonna kind of, start like this. 13 seasons, one team, one city, and now 100 touchdowns. Travis Kelce just joined one of the rarest clubs in NFL history. Only the 7th tight end to hit 100 career touchdowns, and he did it all with the Kansas City Chiefs. After the game, Kelce even said, "I'm just an old lucky dog out here," but let's be real. Luck really doesn't have anything to do with it. That's years of chemistry with Mahomes, elite preparation, and the ability, the referees, and the ability to evolve in the league that changes every season. Kelce just didn't play tight end. He kind of reinvented it. He turned the position into a full-on offensive weapon. His blocking needs work, but he's not just a football star. He's a global brand. With SNL, Taylor Swift, pop culture icon. All while still getting busy on Sundays. So yeah, man, Travis Kelce's 100th touchdown isn't just a stat; it's proof that greatness does last. So got to give it to Travis Kelce, man. 100 touchdowns.
Absolutely. Shout out to Travis. It's weird for me to say that because Tony Gonzalez is, in my mind, Matt, will always be the GOAT. He'll be the greatest tight end to ever walk the face of the earth. Even more than Antonio Gates, which I still think Antonio Gates is one of the best too.
When Kelce retires, he should have all the records for tight ends, man, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and look. If Gronk would have played healthy, Gronk would have been the best tight end ever of all time if he would have been healthy. Excuse me. But with Kelce,
another Patriot too would have been pretty good.
Yeah. We're not gonna mention him though.
He would have, man. But he
kept that nose clean and not involved in illicit.
It had nothing to do with nose. It was about keeping your head right, man. He was
illicit activities and unfortunately taking people's lives.
Yeah, dude thought he was. I don't know, man. Dude thought he was freaking.
But he was Clark Kent.
He thought it was something. Man. But anyways, yeah, man. I got to give a shout out to Travis Kelce, even though everybody hates on the Chiefs. You got to understand they made the Super Bowl the last 4 years straight. So winning two of them. So hey, can't hate on that.
Absolutely. Hey, now comes the fun part of our show. It's the honorable mentions. Yes, and we are not shortage of any honorable mentions. That's for sure. My first one is going to definitely. This one is it's a national story and it's a global impact. But thoughts go out to the entire country of Jamaica. They got hit by the strongest hurricane ever recorded in the Atlantic Basin and third strongest ever in world history. Hurricane Melissa was a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane. Sustained winds were at 185. However, they clocked the sustained wind for more than 5 minutes at 205 today. But they had officially gusts over 210. They did register one gust of wind today at 245 miles an hour. Absolutely insane. Well, Jamaica got over between 40 and 60 inches of rain. Real quick, can you guys imagine what that would do to the U.S. mainland if something that powerful were to hit? I mean, you're talking mass casualties. You're talking you may never see certain areas ever be rebuilt. It's going to be, I would be estimating in the trillions type damage. That's how horrific this hurricane was. But absolutely, your hearts go out to everybody in not only in Jamaica, but also in Cuba, Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, and it's going to wrap up. This whole thing's going to wrap up in Bermuda, and it's a dead center to go to Bermuda. Thankfully, it won't be a Category 5 when it hits Bermuda. The waters have definitely cooled down a lot in that realm of the area, but still, like, come on. This was an absolute monster of a storm, and it's sad. Matt, what is your first honorable mention?
First, I want to touch on the Jamaica thing, man. Shout out to the people. I saw a lot of those things. You have sharks and stuff in the waters in their streets and stuff, man. But I say that just to preface this. I guess the government felt it was just time to get rid of Jamaica. Okay, so moving on. My honorable mention, man, is that we try to not keep it politics here, guys. We got a show coming up for that. But my honorable mention is going to go to tight end Tucker Kraft from the Green Bay Packers, man. We see him have a monster game, man. Caught 7 passes for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns and won me my fantasy matchup. So even though I forgot to put a wide receiver in. So anyways, hey, man, just got to give it to Tucker, man. Had a great game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. He was, the reason why they won that game and came back. They were down at halftime, and he came back, So shout out to Tucker Kraft.
Not to mention also our guy Pinsman, who is our hockey expert. He broadcast the game with Brian, and he was livid beyond livid about how the poor play took place of the Steelers. So good one on that one. All right, Shane, what is your honorable mention, sir?
Well, my first honorable mention, shout out goes to Brad Paisley. I'm sure everybody's wondering why I'm mentioning a country superstar as a honorable mention when it comes to sports. Well, Brad Paisley has been involved in the 2 longest games in World Series history, both 18 innings, both with the Dodgers, once last night against the Blue Jays, and then a few years back when they played the Red Sox. He sung the national anthem at both of those games by coincidence. So shout out to him for being able to start those long, what was it, 3 o'clock in the morning?
God, yes.
Ended last night. So
3 o'clock Eastern, midnight Pacific, but absolutely insane time. I fell asleep at the 10th inning. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't watch this. And thank goodness I didn't.
I didn't make it to the 5th, I don't think.
Thank goodness I didn't stay the whole time. I was like, oh my God. It was abysmal. Absolutely. All right. So my next honorable mention, shout out, we've already mentioned him, but shout out to Lane Kiffin. He is listed as one of the favorites to land the University of Florida coaching position. It is reported that his contract could be worth 6 years at $81 million. If you're doing the math, that's $13.5 million a year. Would make him the highest paid coach in college football. If this happens, y'all, talk about a major upgrade for Florida, considering the fact that Billy Napier just scheduled everybody imaginable to get money and get their backside handed them. But absolutely, if Lane Kiffin does leave Ole Miss, that's going to be a huge improvement for Florida. Matt, what is your next honorable mention?
We got it. Yes. My next honorable mention, man, is going to go to Myles Garrett. He recorded 5 sacks and the Browns lost to New England Patriots. So 5 sacks, 1 destroyed helmet, and 1 destroyed bench. So shout out to Myles Garrett, man. Even though they lost, and what I mean by that is he took his helmet and he smashed that bench so hard, man. There was not a soul sitting on that bench. So, shout out to Myles Garrett, and shout out to him keeping those bench welders and keeping them with a job, because they're gonna need a new bench out there, man. So shout out to him.
Absolutely. All right, Shay, what is your next honorable mention, sir?
As you mentioned, Pinsman and the NHL, my shout out goes to the NHL tonight. The first night, I believe, one of 2 or 3 maybe this season but it's called the Frozen Frenzy. All
Yes.
32 NHL teams are in action tonight. 16 games. The whole league is playing one night. It's awesome to see. I'd love to see more professional sports leagues take note of this, especially with some that have a lot of games, like say 82 or 162 a year. To go ahead and get kicked off and have everybody playing one night. That way you can kind of do what ESPN's doing right now. There's highlighting games here or there. Kind of NFL red zone style kind of broadcast, and it's pretty fun as a fan to watch. So shout
Oh
out to the
gosh, yeah.
NHL.
Yes, excited to watch hockey. Real quick, my Lightning, they are up against Nashville, 1-0. I'm not counting my chickens until they hatch, though, because this season has been questionable at best for Andre Vasilevsky. My next honorable mention is it's bizarre. It's Carson Wentz. Why? Because he's out for the year. He has to have season-ending shoulder surgery. And if you look at when he threw his helmet at the last game he played, and he absolutely, you could tell he's in severe pain. Shout out just to Carson Wentz. Real quick before we go to Matt, I want you guys to tell me, where do you think he ends up after this season net? Because it's the Carson Wentz carousel. Start with you, Shane, and then Matt. Where do you guys think Carson Wentz ends up? I don't think he stays. I don't think he stays in the Vikings.
No, I'm not sure. I know it'll definitely be a second, third string backup role probably, and that all depends on if he doesn't hang the helmet up after this. He's been around the league for many years now. I guess you could say Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Because
he did win one, so
yeah. But it's Carson Wentz kind of. It reminds me of the Andrew Luck situation. Kind of great promise to start with, and then just injury after injury after injury, kind of sidelined the career. So I'm not sure. But I definitely see a second, third string role, if not retiring.
Matt, real quick, tell us where you think he'll go, and then give us your last honorable mention.
Absolutely. Such an unfortunate day for Carson Wentz. Second overall pick in the draft, go to the Eagles. Having an MVP caliber season, then he gets hurt. He broke his clavicle or something like that. And right before the playoffs start, and then Nick Foles takes him through the playoffs and wins the ring. And then he bounces around, and just can't have the career that he was meant to have or poised to have. So also unfortunate situation for him. But what's not sad are his pockets. His pockets are definitely not sad. So I think he'll be okay. I think he hangs it up. There's too many injuries, man. Too many injuries. Freak accident type of injuries as well. That's just one of them things that you got to hang up and just call it a day, man. Enjoy your life, man. Don't get too hurt. How old is he? 33 or something like that? Yeah. Who was the first pick in that draft? He was the second pick. I forgot who was the first pick in that draft. There was another quarterback. I can't remember who it was.
Shane, do you know?
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, man. But anyways, my next honorable mention is going to go. Let's just put this into perspective, guys. Saquon Barkley had a monster year last year, and he finished the year with 15 touchdowns. This was Saquon Barkley from last year. We are in week 8, and Jonathan Taylor already has 15 touchdowns, and he's probably going to exceed the yardage that Barkley had last year. So this shout out is going to go to Jonathan Taylor. He had 174 yards from scrimmage, 153 rushing, 21 receiving, and 3 touchdowns.
Jared Goff.
In the Colts 38-14 win over the Tennessee Titans. So shout out to Jonathan Taylor. And yes, it was Jared Goff. Jared Goff was that guy. So man, it's so unfortunate for him. But kudos to Jonathan Taylor, man. Monster season.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing crazy things. We're not going to talk about the debacle that just happened recently again, Matt, with Raheem Morris. He needs to see. They just need seriously blank. Just go ahead and give him the pink slip. Get out of Dodge. Hey, real quick.
I got one more.
Okay, Shane, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I got a couple actually. It'll be real quick,
Go ahead.
but wanted to mention that the WNBA has offered an extension to get the talks back on track and negotiate and try to, prevent a lockout or strike of any kind. So they've given a 30-day extension notice. Hopefully they accept and they can work something out in that time frame. And then another one on the legal side of things, the NCAA has just put a halt on their ruling to allow college players betting on pro games that came out just moments before the whole poker and sports betting ring came out with Billups and them this
Which
past
tells me
week.
they knew something that we didn't know.
Yeah, so
When they have that, tells me.
but
So,
yeah, they've rescinded that ruling so far, so they've suspended it to where they're not going to allow that until further down the line. Maybe something comes about from these court cases.
I love it. Real quick, hopefully they find it. Shaquille O'Neal's Range Rover. They're still searching for it. Brand new, and it was being delivered, like it was being shipped to him, and someone stole it. So yeah, very scary on that one. And then also, Matt, I told you about this earlier. It's really weird. Tony Rozier faced an $8 million tax lien from the IRS in 2023. Yeah. Big.
Was
Okay,
Shaq in any of those games to where the mafia might have
probably was. See,
Shaq was mentioned, yes.
see, this is crazy. First of all, from Terry Rozier. See, I knew what this was about. This was even about gambling. The IRS just want their money back. So that's all that is. And like, we want the $8 million. So we're gonna find, you gambling, you doing this stuff? Okay, that's all that was. And Shaq, hey man, dang Shaq, I'm sorry that happened, man. I think I heard him say he had 160 something cars or something like that. Dang Shaq.
Yeah, he has a massive car collection.
Hopefully you can find this one, man. It sucks that it happened, but dang, man.
Yeah.
Darn.
Yeah, well,
And then,
at least he's got another way to work.
Oh yeah,
man. At least you're able to. Hopefully, Shaq. Hopefully, you can find transportation to get to the job inside the NBA. I hope you can get transportation, man. Good luck, man. Good luck.
As you got my wife over here laughing. Hey, real quick, also, Baltimore Ravens, they're in trouble by the NFL. So is John Harbaugh. What is this? They're in trouble. Well, all week, last week, it was Lamar Jackson was listed as a full participant in practice and was slated to start. Well, Friday came and they backtracked it and said, oh no, he was listed as questionable the entire week, which was not true. Well, then game day, it was like 30 minutes before game day. Oh, Lamar Jackson's out for the game. And yet, guess what? The NFL said, oh, okay, so you're not disclosing correct injuries. Matt, you know what happened the last time a team did that and said they didn't disclose an injury. Who was that, by the way?
Cha-ching.
That was the Atlanta Falcons. $250,000 fine could be assessed to the Baltimore Ravens. The loss of 2 draft picks is also on the table, and also John Harbaugh, because he knew about them hiding the injury. He is facing up to $150,000 fine as well. Not smart.
And yet they all have the amount of money to pay for these fines.
Well, the good thing is
Quickly.
that the fines go to a really good cause. It goes to like helping people who are having issues and everything. So shout out to getting that taken. But Baltimore, use your brain. Seriously. Guys, we've had a jam-packed episode. Fun episode, yes. Man sitting right next to me as I hear Miss Lily yawning. The man sitting next to me surprised me like no tomorrow. My wife and him had a plan, and Addison knew about it for crying out loud, and she kept it from me. So shout out to my wife and my daughter for keeping it from me.
See, that's how you know you're getting old, Shane, when you start saying for crying out loud. That's how you know the age is up there, man.
You know what? You're not that far from me, Matt. Just saying that out there. So
we had sitting on the front porch saying,
"Get off my lawn!" I actually got a funny story to tell you that real quick. There is a person who let their dog go to the bathroom in my yard. Cassie will tell you, she's over here shaking her head. We'll go ahead and tell you, I sprinted up to that door. I was about to go, get your dog's poop off of my yard. I was so close to doing that, yes, but I didn't. I'm not old. Matt, bite your tongue. I know you want to say something. I can see it. All right, real quick, let everybody know what is upcoming for the Sportz Nutz. There will not be another episode this week. As you guys know, Friday is Halloween. I will be trick-or-treating with my kids. And they're not, and Shane's doing his thing. Matt's got to work. And so we're not going to be.
Hey, Brandon, I'm sorry. I got one thing to say, man. I got one thing to say. First of all, Amazon.com. And I know it's not doing, I know they have people who sell for them, but my daughter, wanted to be the derpy cat from the K-pop Demon Hunters, and we put that order in.
Cassie's over here laughing.
Put that order in for that costume, and it was to be shipped to me, and I was supposed to get it yesterday on Monday, October 27th, but I don't get it. Instead, I go back, check my emails, and I got an email telling me they pushed it to November 12th. November 12th.
Let me know how that works, trick-or-treating on November the 12th.
It didn't work. It didn't work out, Brandon. It didn't work out. It didn't work out at all.
Very popular costume.
It didn't work out at all. Didn't work out at all.
Yeah, your sister, Shane, introduced me to that. When we were up at your house recently, she introduced and said, "Oh, this is the thing that's this big craze going on." And then my girl's like, "Oh, we love this, Daddy. It's the best." And then your sister's like, "Oh, this is the best. I love it too." And your boy and your nephews were singing it. Oh man.
So
funny story, man.
So my daughter has to settle on just being a dragon.
Darn.
Luckily, I ordered something and I got the smoke coming out of the mouth and I jazzed it up. But my daughter has to settle being a dragon. She can't be the derpy cat from K-pop Demon Hunters. So I just want to say, Amazon, count your days. Count your days, man. Count your days. Count them. Am I still going to look at Prime? Yes, I'm still going to keep Amazon Prime. Yes, I am. Because, that's crazy. The fact that it's there the next day and you can order whatever you want, man. It's just
sometimes it gets to the same day.
Crazy. Same day. Sometimes same day. So I give them that. I count your days, man. Count your days, Amazon.
Cassie's over here talking trash to him.
Oh yeah. And then Friday I'll be at the Bavard Pisca game.
Yes.
Bavard could potentially go undefeated through the regular season. They win. They get the number 1 seed overall in the playoffs for their division. If they lose, I believe Reedsville gets it. So should be a good game. I believe Pisca's coming in 7-2, Bavard 9-0. So should be a great game.
Oh, absolutely. And then Tuesday, November the 4th. Yes, it is episode 164. But Whittier College, the athletic director Corey is going to join us because they took a 12-year hiatus on their football program, and they're bringing it back starting next year. What,
Brandon? What are you going to be for Halloween?
I'm actually going to be Dad off of Bluey. Thank you. My youngest daughter Aspen is Bluey everything, and when it comes on, she's ooey ooey ooey. She calls it ooey, although she's starting to say Bluey, but she gets really excited.
Okay, so let's get this out the way. I thought Bluey was a boy all this time. I thought Bluey was a boy all this time. And I just found out today when I came here that Bluey was a girl. I just found that out. That's wild.
Bluey and Bingo are both girls. Yep, absolutely. So yes, so I will be Dad. Cassie will be Mom. Cassie, what is Addison going to be? Muffin. Addison will be Muffin. And Eastland will be Chloe, which is the Dalmatian. And then Holden will be Bingo, and Aspen will be Bluey because that is her favorite character. So, yes, but he will be coming on to talk to us about the 12-year hiatus they took. Then Friday, November the 7th, this one I'm really excited for you, Matt. It is 165, but the prodigal son Mr. Abe Gordon of 92.9 The Game joins us to talk about what else? Atlanta sports and find ways to heckle me and give Matt the quality shorts that he gets.
Oh man, if the Falcons lose these next 2 games, when we get Abe one, it is going to be a disaster.
Yes, and then finally, it's not last but definitely not least, Tuesday, November the 11th, which is Veterans Day. It is episode 166, but we have a professional hockey team coming on, the Biloxi Breakers. They are a pro hockey team based in Biloxi, Mississippi. They are coming on to talk to us about their program and everything. So we're really excited about that one. So with that being said, for everybody who tuned in tonight, we absolutely appreciate you 1,000 times over. For our guest, Mr. Ken Baser, who was the athletic director at Utah Tech. Shane, what do you tell everybody, sir?
Oh, yeah. As always, just love everybody. May the good Lord bless you. Peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease indeed. All right, Matt. Shane, get the lights ready. Shane, what do you tell everybody? Matt, what do you tell everybody?
Oh my gosh, guys, we got Halloween coming up. You know, you're taking the kids out for trick or treating. Be careful. Be careful in the neighborhoods you go in. Be careful what you do. But also, there's a point in time when the kids are going to go to bed, and it's Friday night. And then what that entails alcohol. That entails, sipping some of the devil's nectar. Guys, if you're going to do it, do it from the house. Don't be out in the streets doing it. Last thing you want is to be driving up and you hear whoops come behind you. Because once that happens, guys, you're going to be locked up for the weekend. And it's not a good weekend to be locked up at all. It's cold.
It's not going to be the weekend. It's going to be for a week.
Exactly. It's cold inside those cells. I'm going to tell you, though, there's not really benches. The benches are like made of stone in some cases, man. It's cold. It's very cold. Food you're going to get is cold. Also, that one toilet seat that they got in that room was made of steel, and that is very cold. You'll be lucky if you got toilet paper inside there, guys. So let's go ahead and let's not go down that route. Let's just make sure you play by the rules and do not get flagged in the game of life.
Yeah, one going to jail is not fun. 2, going to jail in a crazy Halloween costume definitely wouldn't be fun.
You go get picked up. No tomorrow. You're somebody's best friend and not an appropriate way. We'll just leave it that way. Look at Matt's face.
Look, man, this Halloween will be the guys. Just make sure you don't wear any costume that requires you to wear a wig. So just stay home.
Oh my God. Okay. With that being said, as I always tell you, peace up, A-Town down Wise. So go to Sports City, ever was. You guys have a wonderful weekend. We will see you next Tuesday. Enjoy this outro and good night.